Gonna do a little troubleshooting on this 2005 Ford Mustang GT V8. It won't start, so let's see what we find. The first thing we had to do is charge the battery. I want to make sure it's completely charged because it didn't want to start at all, and we're not quite sure if it's a fuel problem or electrical problem. All right, so let's get started. Let's put the battery on. So we are now installing the battery. Positive first. I got it then.
Always positive first.
So we're attaching the negative size also. Find it. So let's crank it first. Now we put the battery, we're just gonna crank it to see what it does, and then we'll go from there. Got a bad battery. That's it. No quiere prender. Alright, so what we're gonna do next, before installing the new battery, we're just gonna see if we have any codes. It's waiting for the vehicle to respond. Turn it on, leave it like that. Code found 0. So we got a brand new battery. No way. Wow. What the heck? All of a sudden the engine cracked, but it never started. Huh?
Where are you gonna get?
No, crack it one more time. Alright, so we're cracking it, and it's not starting. So we're gonna check for sparks. Alright, let's do that. So we have to make sure that there is spark on the spark plugs. So we're gonna see if there is spark on it. And we're gonna remove one of the
¿Prueba este?
coils.
¿En ese tornito?
Yeah.
¿Ese?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna remove it. This one, it was already loose, so we're gonna take it off.
Okay.
Alright guys, so we're gonna take one spark, and I want to see if there is spark on the coils, because it smells a lot like gasoline, so it makes me believe that it is the fuel pump. It's working, but not the sparks. Usually when the fuel pump is not working, well, it wouldn't smell like gas, obviously. So let's figure it out. Let's figure out what it is. So I took one of the spark plugs, and I can see that it's full of gas, so it's flooded. So we're gonna put it on the on the coil, and we're gonna see if there's sparks on it. All right. And what we do is just gonna put it like if it is, you're gonna connect it back on.
Tiene que estar en la parte de abajo.
We're gonna touch. It has to touch ground like this, and then we're gonna crank it.
Puede ser también, depende de aquí.
Okay.
Depende. O sea,
So crank it. We're gonna crank it, and let's see if there's sparks coming out. Dale. Okay. One more time. Okay. If the spark plug is wet, the vehicle is never gonna start. You gotta make sure the spark plug is dry. So, guys, this vehicle is gas flooded. So this is what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be taking off all the coils. We're gonna take all the coils. We're gonna take the spark plugs off, and we're gonna leave it about a day without the spark plugs up, so that way the gas can evaporate. All right. By doing that, you have to remove the number. What number of bit you have? So you use a 9/32 drill bit. I mean socket to remove the bolt, and then you remove the coil, and that's it. Irving.
Hey.
All right, guys. So we have all the spark plugs out. Now we're gonna blow some air on each one of the cylinders just to make sure it's completely evaporated. Let's hope. We got all the sides. All right. We're gonna stick the air gun, and we're gonna blow air inside. Do the same thing on each one of them. We're about to finish blowing each one of the cylinders. We're going to start putting the spark plugs back again. Okay, so the only other thing we did, it was to clean the spark plugs and make sure they're not wet. If they're wet, the car is never gonna turn on. They gotta be completely dry for it to turn on. Now the cause of the flooding is unknown yet. Since we took the battery out, it seems like if it erased all the codes. So hopefully we make the vehicle turn again, and let's see what the engine has to tell us. Alright, so now we're in the process of putting back the spark plugs back in. I'm gonna put all 8 of them and see what happened. At first I was thinking that it was no spark, that's why it got flooded, but we confirmed by taking one of the coils out that it did have spark. These coils, they're controlled by the computer. They don't have a distributor or anything like that. So if there is no spark on the coils, it's because probably the computer or something else, you know. It could be the crankshaft positioning center is not it went out or something, but it did have sparks. So let's see what's going on right after we install all the sparks.
I'm probably gonna get
All right.
have to get new.
So we're gonna be putting the coils back on. We just put it carefully on, push it all the way. All right, put the screw and we're all set. This thing has to be connected. All right, and we're gonna go all the way just like that. All right, so I got all the coils in. We're just gonna put the bolts on it to each one of the coils while he's doing the spark plugs on the other side to do exactly the same thing. We're almost done.
Okay.
Alright, so we're just putting the bolts in place so that way he can get them tight on each one of the corresponding place.
Mira, esto sí está bien.
Yeah. There's a bunch of holes broken, but that's gonna be another addition for tips for dummies. We'll see how we can fix that. So we got everything in place, all the spark plugs, and we're gonna crank it to see what's going on, see if it turns on. If not, we'll keep troubleshooting to find out what the problem might be. So let's do it. Ahí va. Dale. ¿Le pusiste gas?
No le prendí Ford.
So after we clean all the spark plugs, we noticed that the car was completely flood of gasoline. The air filter was flood of gas, and the intake also was full of gas. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna remove all this, and we're gonna turn on the car, disconnect it from here. We're gonna turn on the car, and we're gonna try to burn all the gasoline that is on it by turning on the vehicle. So the first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna find the relay for the fuel pump. Okay. Okay. And the relay for the fuel pump is this one. Is this one right here. All right, we're gonna remove it. Okay. And then we're gonna turn the vehicle on.
Oh, ¿para qué no?
Alright, so now the vehicle is on. It's getting the fuel from the intake, not the fuel pump. It's got a lot of gas, and then we're gonna let it run until that gas gets over. So what was the problem? It was this switch right here. How's it called? The fuel pressure sensor. We purchased a cheapy one online, and that's what the one that caused all the problems. Alright, it's still running. It's still running. And got it. It just turned off. Now I run all the gas that it was in there. Now we're gonna connect the relay back again in its place. We're gonna put it back. It's there, and we're done. We're gonna it's done, man. All right. So now what causes this? Well, we noticed that the fuel pressure sensor, it had been changed. We purchased a cheap one online, and it was just not good. What happened is that it sucked all the gas from here, and it brought it inside the intake manifold. So we had to buy the original one, or at least a good one. So that's what the cause of the flood was. All right. So we're gonna clean. We're gonna process of cleaning all the air filter because it got full of gas, and we'll see what happened. All right.